Hey guys, Marsing here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so yeah, here we are on the precipice of the release of the Part 2 Top Legendary Summon banner. Now, I already made a video giving my general thoughts about this, but I did want to do a video, as I always do the night before a banner comes out, going over the banner, talking about the units in more detail, and all the other aspects, because obviously we got tickets and all that kind of stuff. I did cover a lot of things in a video the other day, like I said, which I know a bunch of you guys have seen, but there are a few things I didn't talk about. There's a couple of things people addressed in the comments that I wanted to mention in this one, so I thought we would just do a quick video, because normally I put out a video like this and it will be called like Summon or Skip, which I don't know if I will. I don't think I will call this one that, since I've literally already made a video saying that I think most people should skip it. So it should be pretty obvious, but obviously not everybody has seen that video. I'm sure there are some people who are looking around for some last minute advice as to whether or not they should summon. So obviously the banner, the time of recording, I'm recording this a good few hours before the banner is going to come out. But the time that this video is going to be posted, if you're watching it literally exactly when it comes out, the banner should be up in 9 hours. So I will be live on stream. Obviously, I'm going to do some ticket summons. I might throw some stones at it, we'll see. But yeah, I will be live once the banner comes out. So whether you're summoning or not, feel free to stop by. We've been having some banger streams lately, so definitely would appreciate seeing you guys there. So the 2 new units are what is being released, nothing else. There's no other new content. We have to wait another, I think on JP it was like 5 days, so not like a full week until we get new stages, new missions, easy A's, stuff like that. So it is literally just the Part 2 Legendary Summon banner. So we saw from a data download that we had earlier this morning, it was only very small. It was just to add in the stuff for the LRs that weren't in the game already, and the assets obviously for like the tickets and stuff, which it's always kind of interesting to me that these are in data downloads, because obviously we've had these in the game before, right? So, although actually I guess these are tickets that say Top Legendary Summon. Did we get these last year? I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if we actually did. But this, of course, this is nothing new, right? But some people don't read the news. I remember when I started playing the game, I've talked about this in like old videos, but when I first started playing the game, I joined like a Facebook group. And the number of people that would post questions that were literally answered if you just read the news would lead me to believe that I would not be surprised if a bunch of people didn't know about this, because obviously in the news update, if you look at the stuff, obviously we have the thing about the Part 2 banner in here already, but there is a thing in there, these destined confrontation packs, and as you can see they go up for sale at the exact same time as the banner comes out. So this is in like GMT. I think currently UK's in GMT +1. So you can see this is at 5 AM on the 26th. The banner comes out for me at 6 AM. So depending where you are in the US, it's like 1 AM or the evening of the 25th for you, depending on where you are. Now, the thing that I'm interested about this is, it says Destined Confrontation Packs with an S. Now, a lot of the time we see Legendary Summon banners get ticket packs, and they do pretty much 2 different formats. They either do the one ticket where you get like a 20 unit multi and you get 3 SSRs guaranteed at the end. You're not necessarily going to pull an LR, but you know, you get what you get. I have seen some wild screenshots over the history of this game of people pulling the new LR multiple times in one of those multis. So I'm sure there'll be some crazy shots like that tomorrow up on the timeline. But because it says packs, they've also done these things in the past where you just buy multiple packs of a smaller amount of tickets, and then you can just do multiple summons, and they have like a tier of price increase as they go up, and you get more tickets, and then you usually get things like orbs and sometimes even skill orbs and stuff like that. We don't know 100% yet what those are going to be. Unfortunately for these, we don't normally see the info for that until they're live in game. If anyone knows if they have actually been posted anywhere, then obviously feel free to let us know in the comments section, but I haven't seen anything just yet. So obviously if you're somebody who spends money on the game, ticket packs are always good value. They usually always equate to being better value than just straight up buying stones and summoning. And obviously remember, there is going to be Part 2 sales for these banners. So for a lot of people out there like me, who generally only try and buy the sales and don't like to buy full price stones unless I'm really chasing a unit, extra sales I can pick up but then I could maybe just use the tickets to summon and then keep those stones for whatever's coming in the future, which is why I talked about in that previous video, thinking about, you know, everything coming up after the anniversary, worldwide download celebration, heroes in November, all that kind of stuff. So if you spend money on the game, ticket packs are always worth getting. So if you have a look at the banner, again, I'm not going to go into huge detail on this because I talked about it in that other video, but we have the 2 new featured LRs. Pretty much every single other featured unit on the banner is not worth pulling except for Heart Virus Goku. These 2 are okay, I guess, and that is pretty much it. I guess we are still waiting on EZAs for some of these units, but in fact a lot of them already have them. So the banner itself is terrible, but that is nothing new when it comes to legendary summon banners. This is pretty much what we expect now. If you're summoning on a yellow coin LR banner, you are basically wanting to pull the new LRs, or, you know, in the unfeatured pool, every single other LR is in here. Now, every LR that is available will be unfeatured in the banner, so there are some not shown on here. Obviously, things like the Tech LR Goku and Gohan. That would be a great pull. I definitely wouldn't be mad if I pulled dupes for them, if I, you know, I'm not pulling the new LR. But yeah, the banner's not great. Obviously, on top of the tickets that you can buy, the rainbow tickets are going to become available to be used as of tomorrow when the banner comes out. Obviously, the 3+1 on the Part 1 banners has already ended, so once these tickets become available, you're able to use them on the Part 1 banners as well. So, again, I went into this in detail in that other video, but just for the benefit of people that haven't seen it, if you haven't pulled either one of the first, like the Part 1 LRs, the Super Saiyan 4s or the Super Saiyan Gods, I would recommend using your tickets to go for them. And then obviously if you have pulled them, it's up to you whether you want to try and pull dupes or not, because the overall takeaway from that previous video that we'll talk about here is that I personally, and of course everyone has different opinions, you might be super hyped on these units, super hyped on Saiyan Saga, but like, I do not think these units are worth pulling for anyone on Global right now. They're good units, they're fun to use, of course, but you don't need them for anything. There's no, like, specific missions that they'll help you. Well, I guess there are probably existing older ones that you might not have done, right? But there's no, like, new content that you will desperately need to use these guys for. They can be used in the red zone, obviously. But yeah, I don't think they are must-have units at this point in the game. Especially, like I already said, if you haven't pulled one of the Part 1 LRs. Now, obviously, if you do want to summon, one of the things you can go ahead and do right now, which I'm probably going to do at some point today, before the stream tomorrow, just in case we do get lucky, is you can pre-farm all the medals to awaken them. They do only use medals that are from story events, so you don't have to do any Dokkan events, you just have to play all these story events. Some of the story events have annoying drop rates where you're only going to be getting like 1 medal every run, but obviously, since there's not a huge amount of content like left to do at the moment, you can go ahead and pre-farm these medals if you do want to summon for the units. Goku technically does have a farmable super attack as well, because there's the free-to-play Kaioken Goku from the Lord Slug event. Although actually, is Vegeta base Vegeta? I think he might be actually. Let me just open the his SSR page here. Yeah, he is base Vegeta, so actually they do both have farmable super attacks. So there's another thing you could potentially do if you find yourself with nothing to do between now and when the banner comes out and you are going to be summoning. So let's have a look at the units. I didn't go over their details in that previous video that I did. So Kaioken Goku is an all-out struggle or final trump card lead. It's a pretty decent combination of categories, not a bad leader skill. Although obviously as a yellow coin LR it's only 4 key and 150% to stats. He raises attack and defense in 1 turn on his 12 key and massively raises attack and defense in 1 turn on his 18 key. He does sacrifice 4% HP, which is not something I've ever been a fan of, but I mean, teams are having a ton of HP now, and obviously because it's percentage based, the more HP you have, the more HP you lose. But when you're rocking a team that has like, you know, 700k HP, it's not as bad to lose like a little bit here and there. Now, both units get an intro animation if you are fighting a Vegeta for the Goku or a Goku for the Vegeta. And this gives them extra key and an attack buff for the entire rest of the battle for Goku. Is it the same for Vegeta? Yes, although it's slightly less attack, which is weird. But yeah, so if you're not fighting a Vegeta with this Goku or a Goku with the Vegeta, then they're not going to be as good, but still pretty good. Attack and defense 100%, key plus 7 for 7 turns from the start of the turn, additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super. He gets a chance, additional attack 59% if it is an ultra super. So basically his 18 key is going to be hitting very, very hard, especially if you are against a Vegeta enemy. He randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to STR, and he has a 50% chance to crit built into his passive. So as a STR unit, it also comes with level 5 crit free, so if you do get dupes or you're using skill orbs, you definitely want to go full additional. And then he has an active skill, which can be activated when HP is 50% or less, 59% or less, once only. Greatly raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, and guaranteed stuns the enemy for 1 turn, if possible. Now, the good thing about this is it's only an HP restriction, it's not a turn restriction, so this can be really, really good for Super Battle Road, because if you're going into the 2nd or 3rd or even 4th on some stages fights, and you're at 59% or less HP, it means you can use his active skill on turn 1, and you've guaranteed stunned one of the enemies. So this is definitely a very, very useful ability. So overall, Goku is very cool. He's on a lot of teams, obviously Pure Saiyan, Full Power, Goku Family, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card. I'm not going to read them all out, you can see them all here. There's a ton of teams that he's on. But the main thing I talked about in the video that I did the other day is, like, he's not on any 200% leads that are available on Global right now, which are obviously the big, you know, the new hotness teams. Obviously, you could run him on, like, the Goku and Gohan team, and he'll only be getting the 170, which is perfectly fine. His link partners are not the best either. He does share links with some of the better units on the teams that he's on, but he doesn't have any, like, really, really good 6 or 7 link partners. And this is the problem, which I went into much more detail in the previous video, so I won't repeat all the same stuff. But that's the problem with Saiyan Saga units, and, like, units that aren't Super Saiyans, is all the units that are, like, top tier units in the game all have these links. Like, even if they're Super Saiyan 4s or Super Saiyan Gods, they have links like Super Saiyan and stuff like that, which these, you know, Saiyan Saga units don't have. But Goku is very good. I saw showcases of him when he came out on JP, even under the 170 lead, where he's hitting like 11 million attack stat turn 1 and stuff like that. So he is very, very powerful. And with the defense raise on Super, his defense can be pretty good as well. He's just not really a slot 1 unit. And then Great Ape Vegeta. So he has his entrance animation where there's a Goku and he gets 3 key and 60% attack for the rest of the battle. 3 key and 100% attack and defense. Additional attack and defense 60% when performing a super. He gets an additional defense 60 if it's an ultra super. He guards all attacks, so he has guaranteed guard. And then he gets an additional 3 key and attack 30% within the same turn when guard is activated. So if he's getting hit in slot 1, he's getting an attack buff and extra key. The only problem is he does get a lot of extra defense on super attack. He doesn't raise defense on any of his supers. So he's a unit that, by the way his kit is laid out, like, they want to put him in slot 1, but because he doesn't have a huge amount of defense pre-super, I've seen, like, you know, clips and stuff of him taking a lot of damage in slot 1, especially in difficult content. Now, his 18 key is an AoE, so obviously that can be useful. Like, he feels like he's designed to be a Super Battle Road unit, but with that defensive liability, like, he's not going to be the best in slot 1 unless you have a damage reduction item or something like that active. But he could still be an interesting unit. He, of course, is a giant ape unit, so it can be activated when HP is 40% or less once only, and it is an active skill, which is cool. So it's not like a random transformation like some of the other apes. And he'll transform into a giant ape, does destructive damage with his 12 key, greatly raises attack temporarily and destructive damage with the 18 key, and he does get key plus 5 to make it a little bit easier to get his 18 key. Because you think on double 3 key leads, he's only going to need 1 key to do his 12 key super. So, you know, even if there's only a few tech orbs laying there, you should be able to get his 18 key. Not too, without too much of a struggle, but great ape transformations, I've talked about this a bunch, like Rage, Giant Form, all that kind of stuff. These kind of suck, like, because the unit doesn't get any links active, so even though they're giving him bonuses like greatly raises attack temporarily, like, if you have this unit fully link leveled and you've got some skill orbs in him and stuff like that, chances are you're going to be doing more damage in the untransformed state anyway, and the ape mode is pretty much just a useful way to not take damage for a turn or two. So obviously it can be useful, like say you're doing a red zone stage, you know, you've gotten the closest you ever have to beating it, beating it for the first time and you're on super low HP, you can transform into the Great Ape and get a couple of free turns of damage without having to worry about dying, and that might be enough to finish off the boss. But other than that, giant ape forms are not exactly, you know, super great. So when it comes to these two units, as I laid out in that previous video, I think that these units are a massive skip for basically everyone, at least when it comes to stones. I think you should save your stones for the stuff that's coming up in the future, but if you spend money, obviously go ahead and buy the top legendary summon ticket packs. If you want to use your rainbow tickets on the banner, if you have used already pulled the part 1 LRs, those are, I feel like, the only ways you really should be summoning on the banner, unless you are just someone who is super hyped for these units. Because I always say that you should summon for the units that you want. I see a lot of people commenting on people's videos saying like, oh, you guys are always telling us not to summon for units, but then like, how are we ever going to have these LRs? How are we ever going to have yellow coins and stuff like that? And it is true, but the advice that we usually try and give, or at least for me, I try and give this advice based on people who are either free to play or don't spend a huge amount of money on the game. You have to be smart with how you summon, because Worldwide Download Celebration is like a month away, and the 2 Worldwide Celebration LRs you can pretty much guarantee are going to be better than these 2. So which would you rather spend your stones on, is what it comes down to. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you going to be summoning? Are you just going to use the tickets? What are your thoughts about the banner? Like I said at the start, I will be live, so drop by the channel and say hi. Maybe we'll get some of that good old stream luck. And yeah, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master again. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.